hear her from the woman of the hour, our Miss Universe 2018. Let's all welcome once again, Catriona Gray.
Good afternoon, everyone. Oh my gosh! The feeling that I have right now, I didn't expect to feel so emotional, but I really, really do. Why? Because last time I was in this room, it was my send-off in around November. And I was with Jezza, our Miss Supranational Philippines, and to come back here as Miss Universe 2018, it looks like such a fast journey up on the screen, but that happened over the course of 2 years. All the things that people don't see behind the scenes, and I've always been supported by my Binibining Pilipinas family, of course headed by Madame Stella. You've always guided us and mentored us and protected us. You're like a mother to me and to my sister queens, and for that I am so, so grateful. Thank you. Also to Sir Hinez, Tita Liliana, and everyone behind the scenes of Binibini, you guys are the unsung heroes that really work so hard for us girls throughout the year that we prepare, and I want to also take this time to say thank you so much. And to everyone, thank you so much for coming here today and to celebrate with me. This is really my first opportunity to celebrate winning Miss Universe with my home country and the people that I love. So maraming salamat po sa inyong lahat for being here today. It brings me so much pride and honor to be able to bring so much joy to my country of the Philippines. It has always been about giving back to the community and the country as a whole. It has been something that's anchored me throughout this whole process, and it's always something that I've drawn strength from every step of the way. So standing here in front of you today, I am filled with the utmost pride, and I just want to say thank you and that this is all for you.
Thank you very much, Catriona, for the heartfelt words. We really feel your joy. Thank you very much. And before anything else, may we ask our guests to please take their seats as we move on to our next segment, which is the Q&A portion, our favorite part. No, not the competition, but we have gathered some questions from the media, from our guests today, and I'm gonna ask you some of the questions that's here in the fishbowl. Okay.
Wow, very appropriate to have
I
a
know.
fishbowl.
There's a fishbowl here, so sorry to put you on the spot, but I know you can handle anything. So our first question is from Celso Cabaras from the Philippine Star. Okay, his question is: if you meet a blind child in your visit to Tondo, how will you describe beauty to him or to her?
Wow, ang ganda ng question. Q&A ba to? Hindi ako prepared. You know, if I had the opportunity to meet a visually impaired child, especially from an underserved area such as Tondo, you know, I would first hold their hand, and then I would say, you may not be able to see the world in color and shape, but please create your perception of the world by what you hear, how people speak to you, and how you feel. Just because you have lacked one sense doesn't mean that you can't fully experience the world around you. And I pray that that perception that you create will be a beautiful one.
Wow. Amazing. Truly a Miss Universe answer. Okay, I have a few more questions here. Okay.
I put my music down.
There's a time limit, huh? Okay, no, just joking. Okay, this is from Kim, from Daily Tribune. What are your plans after your reign as Miss Universe?
After my reign na agad, guys? Well, you know what? There are so many things that I'm passionate about. One of them is definitely music. So after my reign as Miss Universe, I would love to pursue music. Perhaps be able to write my own songs and collaborate with different artists and put some music out there for the world to hear.
We're excited to watch out for that, for the new album, Catriona Gray. Okay, here from Grace Libero from Metro Style, her question is, can you share your learnings from the New York Fashion Week talks you attended?
Ooh, I really did enjoy the panel discussions that I was able to see at New York Fashion Week. Because it wasn't only about watching a collection or models walk down the runway and seeing a designer's work, but it was also having a conversation about inclusivity and representation within the fashion industry, which I think bleeds into the fashion industry all over the world, even here in the Philippines. Talking about inclusivity in terms of gender, in terms of body shapes. And, you know, I think that pageantry is a beautiful arena to start really pioneering for more inclusivity, more representation, and I feel like in this modern age, we really are. And I'm really excited to see what pageantry looks like over the next coming years.
Yeah. And here is from Brooke Villanueva, ABS-CBN Lifestyle. How has life in NY, oh, she crossed it out. How has your life changed since you were crowned Miss Universe? What are the best parts and what are the challenging parts?
My life has changed so much, guys. Since that crown was placed on my head, everything just almost feeling like in an instant, my life has changed. I went from being a voice to the Philippines to a voice to the international audience. With that does come a little bit of pressure, but also an amazing opportunity. And throughout the last 2 months, it's been something that I've been navigating with the guidance of my Miss Universe family, and also with the people that have surrounded me, the people who have supported me. The things that I do, or I'm challenged with, is of course being away from home, being away from my friends and my family, but I also realize that this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, and a year, even though it's a year, will go by so fast. So I really have been busy making plans about things that I want to do during my reign, and I really hope to leave a positive impact as Miss Universe 2018.
Okay, and now we have a question from Nikki Wang from Manila Standard. With your journey as Miss Philippines or Miss Universe, what made you so proud of being a Filipino?
Lahat! It was really something that I feel categorized, or not categorized, it colored my journey to the Miss Universe crown. Everything about being a Filipina, whether it was in representing Philippines to the world, because of course being a Miss Philippines, people will take their impression of Filipino people from how I were to conduct myself. So I really tried and endeavored to be a very good representation of my country in that aspect, but also in sharing our culture and history, things like my national costume, doing a series of videos that I hoped would further educate about the aspects that I highlighted within the costume, even in my wardrobe, sharing our textiles, our symbolism, our inspirations as a nation through the avenue of fashion. And of course, even in every time that I spoke, I always wanted to push the advocacies here in the Philippines that have my heart. And so really encapsulated, my whole journey was as a Filipina, and I felt that that was one of the most fulfilling parts.
And from Jessen Cappuccino, sashes and scripts for Catriona. Okay, are you ready for the craziness ahead for the next few days? Because I know your schedule's gonna be jam-packed.
I don't know if I'm ready, guys. Like, I just feel, you know, I always tell people that when I was getting ready for the coronation night, ako nagawa yung makeup ko, and I made sure extra waterproof siya. Kasi I really, really felt that as soon, or if I were to be announced, I would cry. As in, like, cry. And it never happened. So I feel like my crying moment is going to be during my homecoming parades. Because, you know, even when I look back over the last couple of years, my most emotional moments as a title holder or as a beauty queen have been when I'm surrounded by the people. And it's always because when I see their support and I see their passion and just how passionate they are about us beauty queens, it really makes me cry because, you know, I feel like a simple girl, but here I am bringing joy to people's lives in such a way. So I feel like tomorrow, I'm gonna definitely maybe take up too high with, like parang Ayala will be crying.
Extra waterproof.
To make sure may mga Kleenex sa float.
Extra waterproof talaga your mascara.
Mm-hmm.
And here is from Armin Adina from PDI. Knowing what you know now about being Miss Universe, how do you think should a woman prepare for the task of being Miss Universe?
It's really one, you need to be true to yourself. because, you know, we're so lucky here in the Philippines to be surrounded by amazing teams of people who will lift you up and carry you through the preparation. But once you get there to compete, you're all alone. In the sense that you're by yourself, and you may have them on social media, but essentially you are by yourself. So you need to stay true to yourself and kind of have that strength. And whether you draw it from an advocacy, whether you draw it from the supporters, whether you draw it from your family, you need to have that strength, because through those moments in the pageant when you are overwhelmed, when you are feeling doubtful, when it happened to me, that's what I drew from. And it carried me all the way through. Even until now, when there are moments that I'm homesick, I always remember why I'm here, and it keeps me going.
And here's another question from Paul Chin from Pageant Mag Philippines. If you can change only one thing in the Philippines, what would that be?
Ooh. I would further develop our provinces and share more about what we have to offer. Not just in the publicized places like Boracay and Manila and Palawan, but you know, in all the different places that we have in the Philippines, in Mindanao and Visayas, where people might not necessarily think of to visit or that take interest in. When I was traveling around and I was researching for my national costume, I just fell in love with how rich and beautiful our culture is. And I feel like if people would only know how much we have to offer, they would see how unique Philippines is, and they would have a reignited passion or desire to explore the Philippines, not just in a touristy way, but to come into a full appreciation of what the Philippines is as a nation and what we have to offer.
That's true.
Mm-mm.
And here's another question. It's from Eton Concepcion of UNTV. Among your many advocacies as Miss Universe, which among them are included in your grand homecoming itineraries and why?
Ooh, well, I definitely am having a full charity day with Young Focus, which is my education-based organization in Smoky Mountain, Tondo, Manila. Second is Love Yourself Philippines, which is a volunteer-run HIV/AIDS organization that offers free guidance, treatment, and counseling for those affected. And I also have a day for Bini charities and Smile Train. So I really am so happy that I get to spend time with those charities, especially my own charities, and kind of touch base with them and see how everything has developed so far, because I know I've been, for example, communicating with the owner of Young Focus. They've been receiving amazing blessings since Miss Universe, and I would love to see how that's affected their programs, and also discuss, like, how can I help going forward?
I think you've given a really great voice for all of your advocacy, so we thank you. Just being there and being supportive. You've done so many things for them already, so we're looking forward to what you can do in your reign. And here's another question, okay, from Celso Caparas of Philippine Star. Describe Catriona Gray before you were crowned and after you were crowned as Miss Universe 2018.
Oh, that's a nice question. Thank you.
And then siya, yun, si Sir Celso.
It's hard.
One word lang daw.
I know, right? The reason I'm struggling with this is because I don't feel different as a person. I just feel like I've been afforded or given this huge platform. So, but I'm my serenade. Before Miss Universe, I would say, okay, here we go. I would say driven, because up until the very last moment, like, I won't say that I was so competitive that I lost the heart of why I was there, but I really was focused. You can ask my team. Like, I really, really focused talaga. That's just the person that I am. But then after Miss Universe, it was more like the feeling of, I've been given so much, now I have a responsibility. Even though I have a responsibility as a Miss Philippines, but now during my reign, it represents so much more than just being Miss Universe. It's like, what can I do as a Miss Universe? So, driven and responsibility.
Thank you for that question.
But I like that question, thank you.
And here, you were singing a while ago, so this question is from Robert Raquintina from Manila Bulletin. will you pursue Broadway or Hollywood after your stint as Miss Universe?
Why not?
Why not?
If the opportunity is there, why not? I'm really, really open to any opportunity that might come my way.
Okay.
Especially Broadway. You guys know I love Broadway.
Okay, wait. I'm just filtering out kasi the other questions are the same. So, I'm just no favoritism here. Okay? Okay, from Adam Janato from Sash Factor. Your tourism videos featuring the sights and sounds of our country were a big hit before leaving for Miss Universe. How do you feel if you are appointed by DOT as their newest ambassador for their newest tourism programs?
Ooh. Well, I would really like to show, because I know people really have interest in our country because of our beautiful beaches, because of how people are so warm and hospitable and very family oriented, and we make everyone feel like they're a part of our family. But I feel like we have so much to show in our history, in our crafts, the things that we make that are unique to us and found nowhere else in the world. And I feel like I would sell it or present it in a way where I would encourage people to have their own adventure in the Philippines and not take the beaten path, but kind of go off the trail and have their own unique experience of different places in the Philippines and come back with a unique experience that they could share. And then, maybe with a collective conversation, people would find out things about the Philippines that other people would never know.
Is there a particular place that you feel like it's not really like a tourism place, but like people should be able to visit
Mindanao.
Well,
I know there's a lot of hesitancy, especially when I was abroad, and people are quite hesitant about Mindanao because of recent news. But although we should take proper precautions in the certain areas, there's such a beautifully rich culture in Mindanao that I think people don't see because it's overshadowed by all of this negativity. But if only it could be shared with the world. It's such a beautifully unique aspect of Philippines. And I feel like it's such a pity that it's going unnoticed.
Jensen, maganda sa Jensen. Maganda Jensen. Promote. Okay, here, I'm sure a lot of people are curious about the moment, the crowning moment in Miss Universe. So, you and Miss South Africa were holding hands. What were you saying to each other while waiting for the announcement?
I've been asked this so many times, and I can only imagine how many people have tried to read lips, replaying and reading lips. Well, just to describe that moment, it's really crazy because imagine that this whole, how many months girls prepare and all the competition comes down to that one moment where it's the top two. And you kind of get blocked off into your own world because the spotlight comes on and it's almost like it's just me and Tamarin, which is Miss South Africa. And my mom even asked me, why am I twiddling thumbs? I don't know, it's just I feel like it's a comforting thing, but I don't know. But anyways, I was saying to her, I'm so happy to be here with you. I know you do amazing whatever happens. And then she said, you too, babe, you too. So now you guys know what the lips are saying.
Thank you for sharing with us what happened during the crowning moment. And here, I think we have do you still have more questions? Kasi medyo paubos na ito. Okay. So, I'm just looking at, this one is from Eton Concepcion from UNTV. Some celebrities can't handle fame. How do you keep your feet on the ground?
Oh my gosh. This is something that I feel like I'll really be tested on this year. Just because really as a title holder, you're flung into that platform overnight. There's no gradual build. It's just you're crowned and then you're there. But I always just remind myself why I do what I do, why I am Miss Universe, why I pursued this in the first place. And that for me is my advocacy. That for me was to give that organization or that cause a voice on a bigger platform. But also I feel a lot of it is going to be about me keeping my friends and family close, because I feel like it's always important to have people around you that you trust that can kind of keep you in check. Be like, hey Kat, it's time to settle down now. Or just just people who out of love will just keep you in check. And I feel very blessed that I do have that circle of friends and I do have that family, and that is how I'm going to deal with it.
Okay, and we have one last question. It's from Miss Kadaras from Tempo. A lot of girls are looking up to you as their role model, and a lot of aspiring beauty queens as well. What would be your advice for them if they want to follow your footsteps?
Okay. It would be, my first advice is to know why you're doing this. Is it for you to gain new opportunities? Is it a stepping platform to something? Is it your advocacy? Is there another motivation? You need to find the purpose that you're doing this, because throughout the whole journey, you will need that purpose to hold on to. And that's what's going to carry you through. Two, it would be really to keep true to what you want, or your vision. This was really important for me, pursuing pageantry this time, entering into Bini Bini, keeping true to my vision, and that meant for me to be really hands-on in all aspects: wardrobe, presentation, national costume, everything. And I was so blessed to be surrounded by a team who really allowed me to bring my vision to life. And three, it would really be stay strong mentally. Mental fortitude is the term that I use, but some people are like, what's fortitude, Kat? Mental fortitude just means that, especially being a Filipina or a Filipino beauty queen, being from one of the biggest social media newsy nations in the world, you will be bombarded on social media, good and bad, and that's just a part of it. That's a part of the arena that we're in. But you need to be strong in your mind to know how to filter or how to not let it affect you or get you down to the extent that you're hindering pursuing your dream. So be those three things.
Okay, thank you very much, Kat. And before we proceed with the photo op, may we ask you to invite everyone to join you with your festivities in the next few days?
Yes, we have quite a week together. I'm so excited. Like, sobrang excited. We have the parade tomorrow that's happening from Sofitel in Pasay all the way through Makati, ending at Ayala. And then we have the parade on the 23rd happening here in Cubao, starting at Novotel and ending at Novotel, I guess, which is going to be very reminiscent of the Parade of Beauties from Bini Bini, so I'm really excited for that. Other than that, well, you can keep in tune to all the news networks and also social media and Miss Universe, and also my social media, personal social media, because we will be doing some different charity events, different press events, and of course we have the Raise Your Flag event on Sunday with ABS-CBN. And I can't wait to see you guys all there. It's going to be such an amazing celebration. I feel like every single day of this week I'm going to be so emotional, and I really hope to share in this celebration with you all.
Thank you very much, Catriona. And so I think we're going to allow the press to take some pictures here. I think our guides are going to guide you kung saan lang kayo pwedeng stay. Okay, so may we asked Catriona to please stand up for the photo op. Of course, again, we're inviting everyone in the coming days because of the exciting lineup of activities. Tomorrow, Catriona will be starring in a grand and festive parade that will take her around the cities of Pasay, Manila, and Makati.